another team that I want to hit on quickly. That's the Memphis Grizzlies. They added Marcus Smart, who we touched on not long ago, Derrick Rose, Josh Christopher, and Isaiah Todd, and then they lost their rock in Tyus Jones. First and foremost, given the Ja Morant suspension, they brought in Smart, Rose to be able to take on the ball handling duties while he's away. When Ja's back, I personally foresee them, playing Ja and Marcus together and then sliding Des to the 3. Yeah. But in the meantime, while Ja is away, one of the wing spots will likely be open. Who do you foresee among some of the role players who have been getting more increased opportunities, whether it be Roddy, LaRavia, Aldama, which of those guys or another player do you foresee taking advantage of that opportunity?
Sure. So when you remove Ja Morant from the equation for 25 games, however long it's going to be, this is a roster whose best players are probably Desmond Bane, Marcus Smart, Jaren Jackson Jr. And I look at that trio and I don't see a ton of offensive creation. They can be stifling on defense with Marcus Smart, Jackson, and Steven Adams, assuming that Adams is going to be fully healthy for the start of the season as well. But if Jackson, Adams, Bane, and Smart are on the floor, I think you've got two options. One is to add another shooter out there. Hope that Marcus Smart is going to be able to take the reins and run a competent offense. That's where you could get a guy like a Luke Kennard or a Jake LaRavia to slide into the starting rotation. Or you could look for maybe more of a facilitator and a bigger facilitator who can help you establish a defensive identity of length. So that would be my leading candidate to start. Actually, a guy like Zaire Williams, who started his rookie season and ended up really playing with the ball in his hands in his second summer league after the conclusion of his rookie season, because Memphis wanted to explore what that might look like. I didn't think he did great in those settings, but I think having another ball handler next to a guy like Marcus Smart could be fairly important. And because he's 6'7", 6'8", decent length to him, I think that he can be a disruptive defender if you have to play him up on the wings, at least have some versatility with different players that he and Marcus Smart can guard. So I would look at Zaire as actually being a guy to slide into that potential rotation, but there are a lot of positive answers that Taylor Jenkins could look to.
I mean, he doesn't necessarily have a horrific option. Again, it could kind of be maybe dependent on a given matchup for a night, and he could, begin to experiment early on in the season. And Luke Kennard would make sense to start out, given he has the most experience of that lot. And then depending on injuries or again matchups, we could sprinkle in some of those younger players. But I do like the shout to Zaire Williams because his Marcus's, I should say, and the rest of the team's ability to hold him accountable and to give him the opportunities he needs, offensively and defensively, to learn and to be able to work in a team system that is going to require him to be an excellent connective piece, as well as digging in deep on the defensive end, which is clearly a staple in this organization. Yeah, just excited to see how he's able to leverage that opportunity, or who's able to grab it, because it is up for grabs. And, between speaking to some players down here that in Miami that are in and around that organization, they know what's at stake and they know the opportunities in front of them. And, stuff like those 25 games could make a career, if you play super well and you all of a sudden you make the decision really difficult for the Memphis front office and the Memphis coaching staff for when Ja does come back, similar to almost the last finals run when there were rumors of Tyler Hero returning and stuff. And it's like, oh, what are you going to take away Cody Martin's minutes? Right. There a few games could really change a trajectory like that. So excited to see who's going to take it over.
I think you hit the nail on the head. A lot of really good options there. I think we forget Zaire started 31 games as a rookie on a team that ended up making a deep playoff run. So there's a lot that he's going to be able to bring to the table when he's healthy. He's got to fix the jump shot, but you got to give him the opportunity to prove that in NBA minutes, and no time better to do that than the start of the regular season. This is a Memphis team that's built on culture. So it's not necessarily about trying to size up the pieces and the players that they have in comparison to everybody that they're going against. They just maximize who they are and go about their business. And I think that's a team that's going to be well constructed to withstand an absence from Ja Morant.